I didn't want to go to work knowing that this girl was in my house and she could escape so easily. So I didn't suggest to him that we kill her on Sunday, but I knew that she had to be gone.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Maya Mystery, and in today's video we're going to take a closer look at female psychopaths and how to spot them, because female psychopaths, they are out there, but they're often better at flying under the radar than their male counterparts. And this is probably due to the fact that we don't normally think of women as callous, unemotional, or capable of terribly sexually motivated or violent crimes. Which brings me to the subject of today's video, Miss Karla Homolka, one of Canada's most prolific serial rapists and murderers, who along with her ex-husband paulbernardo raped numerous young girls and murdered 3, including her 15-year-old sister Tammy, who she offered up to her serial rapist husband as an early Christmas present by drugging the young girl with anaesthetic she stole from her job as a veterinary nurse so they could both sexually assault her. When the crimes became known to the police, however, Karla immediately started to bargain with them, claiming that she was in an abusive marriage and blackmailed into criminal behaviour. She did this to try and get a lighter sentence, claiming that she could help the police solve the murders with actual video evidence of the crimes if they cut her a deal. She got her deal, and although was mutually responsible for rapes, murders and kidnappings, she only received a sentence for manslaughter. She's now free while her ex-husband will spend the rest of his life in prison. When the tapes came out in court, it showed the extent to which Karla manipulated the police and conned her way out of taking responsibility for her crimes. Karla was a clever and manipulative psychopath who managed to pull the wool over everyone's eyes and managed to screw over not only her little sister, numerous of her victims and the police, but also her partner in crime, paulbernardo. So how do we spot an incredibly clever psychopathic female? Well, there are a few clues. So the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to psychopathic females is that they are often extremely jealous of other women, especially when it comes to the object of their affection. To a lot of psychopathic females, being sexually attractive is their power. It is something that they can use to manipulate men and get what they want. And remember, psychopaths love power. So when these women see another woman or girl who could potentially cut off their power supply, they see red. Because we must remember, psychopaths are narcissistic, and anybody who threatens a narcissist's false image of superiority must be destroyed. And we see this play out with Karla when she begins to mention that her husband Paul had formed an attraction to her younger sister Tammy. Instead of just accepting that her husband had a wandering eye, she offered to drug and allow her husband to rape Tammy, possibly to try and end his lust for her sister. But while doing so, Karla actually ends up killing Tammy, which she later claimed was an accident. But then it was the same situation with Kristen French, who Karla actually suggested when it was time to kill. We must remember that paulbernardo was a serial rapist before he met Karla, but things only escalated to murder when his wife was involved. We must ask ourselves why. Karla might have participated in the rapes to please her husband, but she wanted to punish and get rid of any girls he lusted after as well. Was this merely because Paul wanted to cover up his crimes, or did Karla's psychopathic rage play a part also? So watch out for women that hate other women. It's probably a sign that she's a psychopath.
Karla had told her lawyer George Walker about a pool party in 1990 when Bernardo and Tammy disappeared for hours. I was very angry because I looked foolish because everybody left the party before they got back. I was alone outside waiting, angry, drinking wine. She then admitted something she never admitted to police and would deny under oath, that she was a little bit jealous of Tammy.
So the next thing that I want to talk about is the mask and the manipulation of perception that psychopaths employ to fool their victims and get away with their crimes. And Karla, like most psychopaths, was an expert at this. She lied her way through police interrogations, claiming to be an abused woman who couldn't stand up for herself, even speaking in a weak young girl-like voice and dressing up as a schoolgirl, complete with bangs and a plait in her hair to convey an image of innocence. This is the mask she wore to hide what was truly underneath, and this is something that makes all psychopaths truly dangerous. It is that we usually don't see their true intentions until it's far too late. So the next time you question yourself when your intuition tells you something is definitely up with someone, but you think, no, they can't be a psychopath, they're too nice, they're too soft-spoken and sweet, think again, because this is just a mask they put on to inflict further damage. Behind that sweet demeanour that you know, there's a hollow vessel underneath.
God, it feels weird to be back in here.
The victim was matter-of-fact when she toured police through her Bayview Avenue home where 2 teenagers were murdered. She had chosen to dress as a schoolgirl.
So the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to psychopaths is a severe lack of empathy that they have. Psychopaths don't feel emotions the same way that we do. But their frontal lobes are not developed. Remember guys, it's all in the lobes, and their lobes aren't developed. And Karla is, a perfect example of this as well, in that after her sister died, she moved on quite quickly. She got married shortly after, but the only thing that she was truly upset about was that her father couldn't get over her sister's death in time to be happy for the wedding. And also that he refused to spend all his money on her wedding and decided to spend it on her sister's funeral. And then there was another clip before Leslie Mahaffey was murdered. Karla complained about the fact that Paul let her drink out of one of her glasses. So it wasn't that someone took someone home to brutally torture, rape and murder. The thing that really upset Karla was that the victim drank out of one of her glasses. Yeah, very strange.
Homolka's response to being back in one of the rooms where Leslie Mahaffey was attacked was to ask police about her furniture.
Can you answer a question for me? Was any of the furniture damaged as a result of the investigation?
6 weeks after Tammy's death, Karla wrote this letter to a friend.
Dear Deb, fuck my parents. First they took away half the wedding money, then they kicked us out. My father doesn't even want us to have a wedding anymore. Screw that. We're having a good time. If my father wants to sit at home and be miserable, he's welcome to. He's only worked a day since Tammy died. He's wallowing in his own misery and fucking me.
French was taken to the couple's home near St. Catharines. Homolka unplugged the phones, closed the blinds, and locked the doors. 3 days of sexual degradation of the 15-year-old schoolgirl had begun. When Bernardo left on an errand, Homolka didn't release Kristen. Instead, while guarding the bound teenager with a rubber mallet, she carried on what she described as a chat between girlfriends.
I never should have gotten to know Kristen, because you get emotionally involved with these people, and it really hurts. It hurts a lot more, because I felt like I was friends with both of them, especially Kristen, because we did so much stuff together. We put makeup on together, we talked, just girl talk when Paul was gone getting us food, and it just made it hurt even more.
What Homolka didn't reveal in that interview was that later she had raped her new friend with a wine bottle, as Paul Bernardo watched. The next day, while Bernardo raped Leslie Mahaffey in the guest room, Homolka passed the time reading and walking their dog, Buddy. Homolka was upset, but not for Mahaffey.
Oh, and I was really mad too, because when I took Buddy out, there were 2 champagne glasses on the dining room table. And we had these really expensive champagne glasses from France, which we never used. He had those out. The 2 of them had been drinking champagne from those glasses. And I was really mad. Perfect.